So we're riding the 2017 Farley 9.6. All right, so this is the 2017 Farley 9.6. I wanted to do a test ride of this bike this week because I did the Farley 7 last week. And I believe the two bikes are for two different customers. So the Farley 9.6 has the carbon frame versus the aluminum frame on the Farley 7. It also has a different wheel size and tire size. Other than that, component spec is pretty similar. They both have carbon forks, and they both have suspension corrected front ends, and they both have the Stranglehold dropout. And that goes for the Farley 5 as well. So this particular build, I believe, is more meant for the racer. Fat bikes, when they originally came out, were just for slugging around, flotation, riding in sand and snow. Now they're definitely getting a little more popular, and they're getting a little more specific to different riders' needs. So the Farley 9.6 is definitely a little more premium bike with the carbon fiber frame, which drops maybe about a pound off the bike. And then the biggest difference, I believe, is the wheel size. So you're going to a 27.5 inch diameter wheel, or a 650B wheel, and 4.5 inch wide tire. So that 27.5 wheel does give it a little more nimble feel. It rolls faster, especially a lot quicker than that Farley 7 I rode last time. Those 5.5 inch tires were dogs. They rolled really slow, and they were a lot heavier. They were about 3 pounds heavier, although that was a 26 inch wheel. So that's kind of the two differences, the two type of different riders. Having a larger diameter, rolling diameter with a lower profile tire is going to be more nimble and quicker, and having that wider, higher volume tire, smaller diameter rim is going to be better for flotation. So that Farley 7 would have been better in the conditions today I was riding because it was so sloppy, and then this one would have been better in the harder pack conditions I rode for the Farley 7. Even though the riding conditions aren't optimal, it's still a good time. This is pretty much the only way that you can get out and ride, is on a fat bike in these conditions. And it's still a really good workout. You couldn't do this on a bike that had a narrow tire. And
and it really does test your bike handling skills in the looser conditions. That being said, if I had those 5-inch tires, snowshoe tires, it would have been a lot easier. And this bike's not really meant, I mean, the way it's set up, it's not really meant to handle super loose conditions where I need a lot of flotation. I am running a lot lower PSI than I did on that Farley.
So what that rear Stranglehold dropout does, it's a sliding rear dropout. So the reason why they have that Stranglehold dropout is so that you can swap the tires back and forth between the two bikes. So technically you could buy this bike, throw a 26-inch wheel on it, and a wider, higher volume tire. And what that would do, it would allow you to ride casually, to get more flotation, better in the sand, that kind of thing. And then opposite of that, you could buy the Farley 7 and put this wheel set on it and make it a little more nimble, a little quicker, a little more of a race bike. And that's the big surprising thing between the two bikes, and especially with this bike, is this bike felt a lot like a mountain bike. It felt very efficient and nimble.
I mean, it's hard to compare, but it felt like my hardtail Pro Caliber that I was riding last summer, which makes sense since it shares similar geometry. This is suspension corrected, just like every new fat bike. But I think it just comes down to the carbon frame and the weight of this bike. It's so light, and you could get this bike down 24, 25 pounds with a tubeless setup. It just feels so good.
Another nice thing between the two Farleys and even the Farley 5 is they have the new, I guess, current standard of axle width. So the 197 rear and the 150 front. And that just allows you to fit the wider, bigger tires on.
So one of the things I noticed about this bike right off the bat, compared to that Farley 7, is the weight. It feels more like a mountain bike than it does a fat bike. Fully rigid, mind you, but
So the main reason why you would go 9.6 carbon over 7, one, if you have the money, why not? But the main real reason is if you're planning on racing the bike, it's going to be lighter, it's going to be nimble. Like it definitely felt a little quicker, a little poppier, snappier, more like a mountain bike. The way that fat bikes are being designed and developed now is pretty incredible, how light they're getting and how efficient they are. So I hope that was informative. Thanks for watching.